Okay, good morning. Today's August 22nd, 2018, and today your learning goal says I can read and write numbers through the hundred millions place. Okay, so today we're going to be talking a lot about place value and how to read, how to say numbers out loud, and how to write them down as well. Okay, you should never look directly at the sun because it's bad for your eyes. But if you were to look at the sun, scientists have researched and found out that the diameter of the sun, what that means is when you go from one end of the sun across the middle to the other side like that, the diameter of the sun is this many kilometers, 132,000 kilometers. But in order to understand what that number means, we can use a place value chart to help us understand how big that number is. So you can see right here I wrote 1,392,000. Okay, go ahead and write that number in your notebook. 1,392,000. Do you guys see how what we drew up here, what you wrote in your notebook, is the same as what's written down here? You guys see how there's vertical lines and horizontal lines down here as well? Okay, the only difference is the different place values are labeled in this chart down here, and it's not labeled in our chart up there. The first thing I want you to know is that a period is a group of 3 digits separated by a comma. So if we always start at the right-hand side and we count 3 digits, 1, 2, 3, these 3 numbers right here, do you guys see how that's 3 digits? See the 3 digits up here, 0, 0, 0? See how it's separated by a comma? Very nice. Go ahead and put yourself a square, a box, around your first period. This period is called the ones period. And label it like I did. Next, let's look at the next 3 digits. See how once again they're separated by a comma? That period is called the thousands period. Go ahead and label it. Thousands. Finally, you have one last period at the end here. In this case, how many digits do you have in this one period? 1, right? Because it only has 1. But if there were more digits, 2 more digits would be part of this period as well. And this period is called the millions period. Go ahead and label that. If I zoom in on this ones period over here, what is the first digit called? Ones. What's the second digit called? What's the third digit called? Okay, now let me look at this next period. It's the thousands period. What's the first digit of the thousands period called? What's the second one? What's the third one? Interesting. Okay, what do you predict for the millions? Ones, tens, and hundreds. Are you seeing a pattern there? Very nice. Okay, so this 9, let's take a look. This 9 right here, which period is it in? Is it in the ones period, the thousands period, or the millions period? Thousands. Is it in the 1,000s, the 10,000s, or the 100,000s? So what's the value? How many 10,000s do we have here? So what's the value of this 9? It's 9 10,000s or 90,000s. Very good. Okay, let's take a look at, what about this 1? Which period is the 1 located in? Millions. Is it in the 1 millions, the 10 millions, or the 100 millions? So what's the value of that 1? 1 million. Very good. What's the value of this 2? 2,000s. Because it's in the thousands period, but it's in the 1,000s. Make sense? That's why on this chart here, you'll see, for the ones, it's 1 copy of 1 million, because it's in the 1 millions spot. The 3, it's 3 copies of 100,000s because the 3 is in the thousands period and it's in the hundreds column of it. Got it? Okay. I want to write down standard form. Standard form. And standard form is just using numbers. So I want you to write the standard form of your classroom number. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4, whatever it is. Write it down. That's standard form. Now another way is called word form. And word form is exactly what it sounds like. You're writing out that number using words. So this number using word form is 100. Now, check this out. What's the value of this 1? 100. Because what period is it in? Ones. But is it in the ones, tens, or hundreds of the ones? Hundreds. So it's 100. Very good. Now, the last form, you should already be familiar with this, is called expanded form. When something is expanded, it's written out long, isn't it? Expanded. What that means is you take each digit and you tell me the value of it. What's the value of this 1 again? 100. So I have 1 copy, 1 times 100. Now, do the zeros have any value? So actually, this is the expanded form of that number. There are 3 different ways that you can express a number. One is using what's called standard form. Let's look at the example of the diameter of the sun. Remember that 1,392,000 number. Remember that? Okay, so remember we said, here's the standard form. The standard form is it just written out in normal numbers, right? Next is the word form. Word form is when you write it out using words. Well, the 1 is in the millions, so the value of the 1 is 1 million. And then we have 392, and then what's the period? Thousands. Whenever we write out in word form, you just write, if you just said 392, what would that number be? 392, and then you say the period. So how do you say this? 392 thousands. And then it's all zeros, so there's nothing. Then you can see for expanded form, you have 1 copy of 1 million. 1 times 1 million, plus 3 copies of, what is this place? It's the 100,000. So 3 times 100,000. Plus 9 copies of, what is this place? 10,000. 9 times 10,000. You see that? Plus 2 copies of 1,000, because this is in the 1,000s place. And then we have no values. So that's why we have 1 times 1 million, plus 3 times 100,000, plus 9 times 10,000, plus 2 times 1,000.